Star Citizen's Alpha 4.0 brought along with it contested zones. Within Pyro space stations are levels separated from the general habitation and shop areas. These are complete free-for-all PvPvE zones, centered around getting in, getting looted, obtaining special items, and getting back out again. As I got to the station, I was minding my business, browsing the stores before my next adventure. These contested zones were calling me, like eerie whispers every time I walked past one of the hallways. So, I decided to jump in headfirst, completely solo. I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty nervous. Other than a couple games on Arena Commander, I've never really PvP'd on Star Citizen. I do, however, have a few thousand hours on Escape from Tarkov, and this fits the vibe of a Tarkov raid to a T. So, let's jump in. So, as I first got in, I came across a door which was locked, which needed a fuse to unlock. So, I found this little red laser trap, which had a shortcut to cut above, climb through to get our first fuse. I think you can also buy these and bring them in, but if nobody's been in right before you, then these fuses spawn here, so you can go and unlock these first doors to progress a bit further. I really didn't know what to expect going into these zones, so I was very cautious. I was taking a lot of precautions. When I saw enemies, I kind of presumed that they were players first, and not that they were AI. Throwing grenades and things like that, just trying to be somewhat safe. All the shooting and stuff felt pretty good though, honestly. Since the server meshing update, the hit rate and stuff felt pretty good. Some of the animations, like the death animations, I feel like are pretty long with the AI, but I don't think that was like a server issue. Some of them might have been slightly delayed. But again, I was taking precautions here. I was pulling bodies into a nearby little tunnel here where I could loot them a bit safely, so I wouldn't get rocked up on and killed whilst looting. And just coming up here is one of my first encounters with other players in the contested zones. All those people we were shooting at just then were AI so far. This is our first encounter with players, and we got pretty unlucky with the timing of things, honestly. And there we have it, losing my first fight. Taking out one of the two. I didn't realize there was two people until I already started firing shots, so probably should have had a little bit more trigger discipline, and also made me realize that weapons that have smaller magazines that aren't like LMGs and stuff like that, you've got to be really careful taking on multiple players, especially at close range like that. So I equipped my basic suit and just bought a quick pistol and decided to run in and see if I could pick up another weapon, or maybe even get back to my body and see if I could get my gear back. I actually took a different route in this time, and I had this door that you could go through which led to this immediate area that had a bunch of enemies in, so I decided to take them out and then grab a weapon off one of these guys. I totally forgot that when you don't have a combat helmet on, you don't get the hit markers and stuff like that, so I was a little bit put off when I first fired the pistol then, just because I was used to having the hit markers in the life before. But as you can see, we came across one of these guards, and these guards are kind of common. They rock full armor and stuff like that, and they have an LMG, which is pretty nice, so I quickly equipped this guy's gear, and was using this LMG for pretty much the rest of the playthrough. Again, I needed another fuse, so again I had to come to this place to grab one, but unfortunately there wasn't one there this time. So I decided to push back into the area where I got a first couple of NPC kills and picked up the LMG, and see where that route could take me. This area, again, didn't have another fuse, but there was some lootable crates here. And I did find multiple Scourge railgun magazines. There was 11 in this crate. And each one of these, I think sold for like 3k, 2.8k or something like that each. So it was actually a nice bit of bank just from finding these magazines. I also found little bags of like the slam drugs, so I don't know where to sell them, but should make a lot of money from them actually. I then just decided to head back and sell and store what I had found so far. So I went to this weapon station, but for some reason when I clicked on the terminal, it completely bugged out my character and started inspecting my pistol. And I could not get out of this animation loop no matter what I did. I tried everything. So I had to Alt F4 and reboot the game to get out of it. For my third trip down, I was a little bit more determined this time to try and get back to where my body was and try and figure out where I was going. It's actually quite confusing in this contested zone. There's a lot of like similar looking areas, and quite often you can feel like you've been to the area you're currently in, but it's actually just like it's just similar to the area you were before. Like you can see if you look at the mini map, it's like it's lots of like squares and grids that are all connected together. So I think I need to spend some time actually opening up the map when I'm down there and figuring out where I need to do it, because I actually didn't do that whilst I was playing in the contestant zones. I didn't look at the map at all. Here was my first bit of combat with this FS99 LMG, I think it's called, and I quickly realised I did not know how to control this thing. I did also get a bit of an annoying bug here, where I went to go loot this body, but it switched onto the pistol that was on the ground, and it decided that it was going to switch my LMG with the pistol that was there, and it sent my LMG flying. And at the time I thought it had put my LMG through the floor. I couldn't find it anywhere, so I started moving bodies out of the way, just trying to look for the LMG, because I didn't have ammo for anything else other than a pistol. Fortunately enough, when I did look around the area, I found the LMG tucked between this table and stool, so that was a nice bit of a crisis averted. Then found this nice area which again had a red laser trap to get another fuse. It seems pretty common that there's traps around areas where you need to find things. So looted the fuse, checked the boxes around there, and then pushed on further. Now, getting pretty close now to where my body was from the first death, so I was being mega cautious here, but sometimes even when you're cautious, you're just outnumbered, outgunned, and not much you can do. So there we have my second death of the contested zones. It's a punishing place, honestly. If you're not with a group, and you're solo, it's a daunting place to be, and it's hard. But I decided to run back down with a pistol because I didn't have much money and I knew it was pretty easy to grab a kit. But after I killed one of the NPCs here, I noticed that there was a player that ran into one of the cupboards, so I had to be very, very careful in this fight. Now, I knew I needed to be careful here because I was going to be massively outgunned with just a pistol and no armor, so I was just trying to get some kit from the bodies on the ground here, but I couldn't find any weapons. I was stuck with a pistol, but luckily I did find some armor. getting the drop on the player and getting the kill there with a pistol, I was honestly really happy. And just look how much loot this person had on them. However, as soon as I finished looting, I noticed there was a flashlight looking at me in the top left of the screen. So I just had to get out of there and try and flank around because that person had a teammate. So that was my first like 1v2, proper 1v2 fight in Star Citizen, and honestly that was really intense. Thankfully, because of this steam here, the steam and smoke that goes up into the ceiling, it's probably the only reason that the player didn't see me and kill me when I was looting his friend. But I threw a grenade up there just to be cautious. And I spotted here that he actually did get the revive on his teammate. I hadn't noticed. He was probably hitting him with the med gun just as I was getting the flank round on the corner. And then we had some NPCs that came in and spawned in the closet there and all came out. I then decided to tractor beam the body into a slightly safer place to loot it in case somebody else rocked up. Didn't want to be caught in the middle of the hallway like they were. So I looted these guys up and then decided to head back and store things because I was massively overweight and could barely move properly. So I headed back and got things stored, got things sold. And count that one as a success. It was only when I got back to the main like hab area that I realized that player backpacks were bugged. So throughout 4.0, player backpacks can't be looted. So the inventory is just constantly loading. And when I put the player's backpack into my inventory, into like my global inventory, it completely bugged out my inventory as well, and I had to restart the game. So I decided to head back in. But what this also did make me realize is my original body still had all the loot, like loot inside the backpack because other people couldn't loot it. So I had some slam drugs and stuff in my body. So I went back and got to this area, and I was being super cautious because this is where obviously I died to the duo. So just be very careful. This fight also made me realise I need to get better with this LMG. Fighting at range with it is really, really hard. As I was repulling my mag here, I started hearing some shots on the left. There was an entire squad that came down. Now, I didn't realise this at the time, but the door that they're going through is called the supervisor door. It's like a big red sliding door, but you need a key card to open it. You need to find the supervisor key card. I think once you open it, the door just stays open for 30 seconds and then closes. You need another key card to open it again. But I had no idea of this at the time. I hadn't looked at anything into the contested zones, so it seemed that the person that I did kill, they were able to tractor beam onto the other side of the door before I could get down here as well. So I think they managed to save that guy. So I moved on to the next area, and funny enough, I actually came across my body from the very first death when the two players ran in and I was able to kill one but not the other. It was probably from that same squad, to be honest. But yeah, I was actually able to find my same body there, and I had the loot in because obviously the players couldn't loot my backpack and things like that. So that was kind of cool. Obviously it's a bug and needs to be fixed, but it was kind of handy for me for my first time. found another couple routes to take down here, but I was trying to look for where I could get one of those red keycards for the supervisor door to chase that squad, but I didn't know where I was going. Like I said earlier, I didn't stop and look at the minimap, which I really should have done, so I spent a lot of the time pretty lost. I didn't have a whole lot of time left on my PlayStation as well. I had to get up and get dinner made and stuff like that, so I couldn't spend too much time exploring. Like, I didn't go down there where those red lasers are in that tube. I didn't go down there, and I kind of regret it. So I ended up just pushing through and finding an area that let me override the door to get through, which I think this is just a fuse door, but I'm on the inside of it, and that's why it let me open it. At first I thought I was finding like a new area, like I was progressing, but I think I was just back at another access point to start the contested zones, and that's why I was finding fuses here, and that's why I was able to get through that door. It's just because I was on the inside of it. That's why it let me open it. I explored around for a little bit longer, looted some crates and stuff like that, but I couldn't find anything new. I was running out of time, and I ended up just coming back to the contested access area, number 3, the only one that I hadn't been down so far. So I kind of did like a full circle of all the initial areas, and it'll be pretty fun to come and explore some more, find out where I can get the keycard from, and delve into some more. But if you enjoyed watching this video and you'd like to see more in the future, be sure to let me know in the comments below. Like, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff, and yeah, we'll get some more made for sure. Another pretty funny thing was when I was back at the station, there were the NPC guards for some reason were shooting a couple of the players. I don't know if this was like a reputation thing, like they'd earned a really bad reputation with a certain gang and then respawned here or something. But there was like two different players that were spawning here and just getting shot at by all the guards. I have no idea what was going on, but it was pretty funny to watch, honestly. And also a bit of a testament to how bad the aim are on some of these guards. Some of them were like point blank, shooting players in the backs and somehow still not killing them.
Oh, hey there.
Yeah, like I said, if you enjoyed this video, please do consider dropping a like and sub. I want to do some more Star Citizen. I'm pretty new in the Star Citizen space for making videos and whatnot. I've done a few streams in the past. It's my first time really doing videos of it. So if you enjoyed, be sure to hang around for some more. And I'll catch you in the next video.